Guys, in this video, I want to talk about how you're gonna stop wasting months building products that take you nowhere. When it comes to a potential product failure, I went through most of those failures, and that's the reason why I can talk about this, because I already understand why products fail. I'm not a multimillionaire, I'm not the next Elon Musk, but I spent months building apps until I understood the right system to build apps, until I understood what's important when you're building the app. Because if you don't understand the process, you are literally wasting your time. You are putting your time on things that won't work and won't ever work, because not of the product itself, but because of the system that you are using to build the product. So this is not about creating multi-millionaire company or a multi-millionaire product, but detecting if it's worth it or not to build the product, if it's worth it or not keep pushing that company. Look, most people think the risk of building a software as a service is failing, but the truth is that is not. I mean, the real risk is being wrong slowly, spending months building something that never needed to exist. Not because you were lazy, not because you lacked skills, but because you made a big decision using weak signals. What I was telling you, okay? You were using the wrong system to build the app. And that's what actually burns people out. Not working 12 hours a day or not working 14 hours a day on the product, even though can be too much, but using the wrong system, because using the wrong system take you to the wrong place over and over again. I mean, you cannot expect to do the same things over and over again and expect a different results. So if you are thinking about software as a service right now, there is probably one thought looping in your head, even if you don't say it like this. What if I spend 6 months on this and no one cares? That fear is healthy in some part, because the mistake how most people try to get rid of it, and that never works, because the core problem is that you are trying to make a 6 month decision using 7 minute evidence. And you need to pay close attention, because most of the time you're not doing this consciously, you're doing it unconsciously, because you start working on something without validating, and then 6 months pass, and then you realize that you build the completely wrong product. A few opinions, a couple of, a couple of likes, someone saying this is cool. Maybe ChatGPT told you it has potential, but that's not really validation. That's comfort, because validation is an uncomfortable situation, because you will start hearing people telling you things that you don't want to hear, but those are the only things that can improve your product. One of the oldest, most reliable lessons in business is that progress is not activity, it's not the work you put, but the reduced uncertainty. If today you know something real that you didn't know yesterday about the problem, the person, the target audience, the urgency, or the your willingness to act, you made progress. If you only build more, designed more, plan more, you didn't. You just stayed busy. And it's very easy to be busy. It's the easiest thing in the world, but that doesn't necessarily take you to where you want to be. By the way, I will explain you everything in a minute, but I just wanted to let you know that if you want me to help you one-on-one building your software as a service, you can send me a message on Instagram, or you can book a call. I will leave the link on the comments section. You just need to tell me your idea, the problem that you want to solve, and the audience, and I will create a plan to create the software as a service for you. If you don't have any of that, I will take care and I will research your audience to see how we can build your product. Okay, the goal is not to prove your idea will work. Okay, that's impossible. The goal is much simpler and much more important. Is this problem real enough to justify to continue putting the work? Because good businesses don't start by optimizing, they start by finding truth. So, as you may already know, there are a couple of things that we want to avoid on the first 7 days. First of all, do not start building, do not design an MVP, choose a tech stack, plan features, worry about scalability, or compare competitors. All of that assumes something you haven't earned yet. That this idea that you have deserves to be built. Right now it doesn't, okay? Not yet. There's another principle that shows up again and again in great businesses. People don't buy product. They act to relieve pain. So if the pain isn't active, the product is almost irrelevant. Your job in these 7 days is not to sell a solution, is to put the problem in contact with reality, to see if people are willing to pay for a specific solution. Without polishing it, without dressing it up, you need to start asking yourself, what behavior would convince me this problem is real? So the first step, okay, on day 1 and 2, is define the problem with precision. Not the product, not the idea, but the problem in one sentence. And examples that you can use for this is, I help this specific target audience deal with specific problem that currently costs them time, money, energy, whatever. And then, and only then, you can talk about solution. If you pay attention, strong businesses are built on clear problems, not big ideas. So on day 3, you talk about the problem, not the solution, not what you are building. You need to describe how the problem shows up, how people deal with it today, and why current situations can become harder to solve if they don't use, a specific thing. If they keep using their same solution, why current solutions are frustrating or inefficient. Here, clarity beats persuasion. If you're working on the desert and someone comes and offers you a bottle of water, he doesn't need much persuasion, because you will do whatever it takes to build the bottle of water. You need to survive. The problem is deep enough. It's deep enough to not need persuasion. On day 4 and 5, one of the most important things, repeat and listen. Same problem, but with different angle. Your job here is not to define the idea, is to listen. Pay attention to the words people use, the objections they raise, what confuses them, what they care about, because the best products speak the user's language, not the founder's one. On day 6, you ask for a small action. Okay, something like leave your email, pay $10 and you enter an email list. Whatever you want that lets you test people's commitment. Because the truth is that people lie with words, but they tell you the truth with actions. They won't move to a place that they don't want to be. It's as simple as that. And on day 7, you decide. Okay, it's as simple as that. You can either continue, you adjust, or stop. Stopping early is not a failure. That's the thing that you need to understand. It's a skill. If I had stopped when I needed to stop developing certain apps, I literally would have saved me months. Every month you give it to the wrong idea, steals energy from the right one, drains motivation, creates doubt, and makes you cynical. So if after 7 days you see real interest, voluntary effort, or a comfortable but honest signals, then yes, then it makes sense to think about a minimum viable product as offers the service, months of work, or whatever you want. But in one way or another, it's all about finding product market fit. So the system that you are using and the time will tell you if it's worth building or not. I really hope this video helped you, and if this helped you, you would also help me a lot if you subscribe to the channel and you hit the like button, because in that way we can keep reaching new people, and it only takes a couple of seconds. Once again, if you want me to help you one-on-one building an app, I can take your idea into a working software as a service product. You just need to book a call. I will leave you the link on the comments section. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.